am at the garden and I'm gonna be harvesting. It's been a few days since I've done that, and I'm also gonna be spraying because there are still grasshoppers everywhere, of course, and I'm gonna try to control the grasshoppers, flea beetles, and maybe cabbage worms if there are some. I would have gotten out here earlier, but I had to go grocery shopping, so that took up a lot of my time. I had a coupon for a free Simply orange juice, any size. So of course I got the biggest size I could find because, well, I love orange juice so much. Other than that, it was just a normal grocery shop, very basic things that I got. And now I'm here doing more grocery shopping. Oh my God, there are so many eggs. Ew, nasty. I don't see any worms yet, but ugh, I'm not excited for that. I think this was charred as good. Pinto beans over here also doing so well. There's little beans on it. I love seeing that. Do you see that grasshopper munching away on my calendula? Time to spray. I'm gonna go around and spray everything that's getting attacked by flea beetles and grasshoppers and anything else that's bad. The tomatoes are really taking a beating and the cabbage, so that is what I'm gonna be doing. Some of my tomatoes look deformed and I don't know why. I really think it's flea beetle damage just because there are so many flea beetles on the tomato plants, but I'm not sure. What if it's like a fungus or a virus? I don't know. This is neem oil, by the way, and BT, which is for caterpillars and other things, but I can't really remember that right now. Nothing really takes care of grasshoppers except for like diatomaceous earth and heavy duty pesticides, which I do not want to buy or use. Look how many birds I've heard in the community garden. So many of them. Wow, there's my little Hummer. I'm gonna cut back some of this arugula. It is taking over the cucumbers here. So I'm gonna get rid of a lot of it on this edge so the cucumbers can grow bigger. And the arugula is simply just out of control right now. Ew, whoa, holy hell. You see all those bugs moving? Oh, that was all underneath the arugula. Look at all of them. Oh, what is that? They're all over me too. Ew. The heck? Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Okay. That looks so much better. I hope the cucumbers can now get a little bit more sun, maybe some water, whatever they need, and they will grow faster, hopefully. You see that disgusting earwig? Oh my God. Ugh. I was doing some onion research last night and discovered that mine were planted too deep, and that's why I can't see the bulb. So we have to dig down and expose the bulb. That's what I'm gonna do right now. If I don't do that, the onion will grow more like a torpedo rather than a bulb. And I really would like a nice full onion. Oh yeah, the bulb is way down there. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? So it said to have 2/3 of the onion hanging out the top. That's my goal, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to like literally take so much dirt away. So I did my best trying to dig up the onion bulbs. The ground was so incredibly hard, so I just tried my best and I hope it works out for them. Also, we have a cantaloupe blossom. That's so exciting, hoping for a cantaloupe soon. So while I was at the garden, I picked parsley, and I'm gonna pick the parsley here as well. I'm gonna dry it. This will also help keep the plant to keep on producing more leaves for me. I'm gonna leave that so I don't cut too much off. This is the perilla. It seems to be doing well. Some of the leaves are browning, not sure why. It keeps growing, and I think it likes this area. I'm also going to cut some mint. Just gonna cut right above a node so it'll be more bushy. Sal keeps coming over here and like biting a leaf just to get the taste. And he's so silly. I keep telling him he's really not supposed to be doing that, but he just loves that minty taste. He doesn't like eat the leaves or like steal the leaf. He just bites them. Okay, I think that's enough. Smells so good. I'm also gonna pinch the basil, just the top leaves off here. And this basil plant that I planted, I bought this at Trader Joe's and rooted it in water, and it's surviving, still alive, so that's good. I am installing a cup hook up here so I can hang my herb dryer. I cannot reach the ceiling, so I'm gonna have to figure out some way to screw this in. Maybe I might have to stand on the dining room table and put it above that, which is kind of silly, but it's only the cup hook. I will take down the dryer when I'm not using it, so not really that big of a deal. I realized that I needed to make a rope of some sort to have the herb dryer be a little bit more accessible. So I macrameed and braided some yarn, and that seemed to work out perfectly. Except that the cup hook was not staying in the ceiling. Turns out I needed a bigger cup hook. So I went to the hardware store and I got a bigger one and tried once more to hang up this herb dryer. This is what everyone's squash looks like. This is what my squash looks like. Unfortunately, the entire time I was at the garden filming, my microphone was not working, so I'm gonna narrate this whole part. I decided it was time to pull out the pea plants, or rather, they decided that it was time. They were flopped over and drying out, and there were no more peas being produced, so time to get rid of them. I also decided to get rid of the snap pea plants as well. Same thing was happening with them. They were not producing any more snap peas. They were all weird looking, so time to go for those as well. I also decided to dig around the bulbs on this patch of onions. I have a third patch of onions and I'm just gonna let those be. So it's gonna be kind of an experiment to see which ones do better. Also, I noticed this weird thing happening with the lettuce next to me. Those are all flies. Ew. Nasty. Time to harvest some daikon. That's a really funny looking one, very strange. Another very odd looking one. This is komatsuna, kale, collard greens, Swiss chard. And while I was harvesting the Swiss chard, I realized I was cutting beet leaves this entire time. I planted beets right next to my Swiss chard, which is definitely a mistake because they look kind of similar and they are a part of the same family, so that makes sense. But I had been cutting those leaves and adding them to my Swiss chard, and I had no idea this entire time. Also, the potatoes are drying up for sure. I think I'm gonna give them one more week before I dig them up. I always make my own disinfectant spray right here, and I make a bulk batch that I put into a half-gallon jar so I don't have to mix up my spray every single time. I could just put it all in here and then just fill it up with a funnel as I need it. This consists of white vinegar, water, and rubbing alcohol, and you can also add essential oils if you want it to smell good, but I do not. I'm just adding alcohol, vinegar, and water. Usually I just pour water in until I reach the very top. There we go. So I have tomatoes here, not this one. This one is from the store, but these are from the garden. This is a Roma that I accidentally picked off like a week or 2 weeks ago. And look, it is blushing a little bit. So save your green tomatoes if they accidentally fall off. This one right here is ready. I'm going to show you how I save my tomatoes one by one as the season goes on, because sometimes you don't always get a giant tomato harvest. Sometimes you only get one or two. And I really want to can sauce with my tomatoes, so I'm saving every single one that I grow. These are actually tomatoes that I grew last year. They are Romas, and I'm gonna take them out of this bag and vacuum seal them in this bag. Yes, they are freezer burnt and they don't look the best, but they are still good. I know you're not supposed to freeze things forever. These are homegrown and I just want to make sauce so bad. And with this baggie, I'm going to put this tomato. And I like to put a little X in the bottom just so the skins come off easier when you defrost them. They should just slip off so easily. Cord there, and then as I get more tomatoes and core them, I'm gonna put them in here, put them in the freezer until this bag is full, and then I will vacuum seal them. Later this summer, we will be making tomato sauce, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait. Okay, well, I have propagations right here that I need to get rid of, and they belong in this plant here. I'm gonna very carefully remove them and put them onto this towel. So the plant is facing this way. So I'm going to be filling in spaces on this side of the plant since this side is against a wall. Very, very carefully dig down in here. I should probably take the whole plant out, but I'm not gonna do that right now. I just wanna get these into some soil so I don't have to deal with them anymore. There we go. I really wanted to make a summery pasta, so this was my creation. I started with asparagus and fresh corn. I sauteed some onions, added the asparagus, and then added the corn. I seasoned with salt and pepper. I then added 1 cup of water mixed with some veg bouillon. After I let that simmer for a while, I added more water because it definitely needed more liquid, and I blended it up with my immersion blender. My plan here was to make a asparagus corn cacio pepe, which is like a cheese and pepper sauce, which is a little little strange, but it was actually so delicious. I added some grana padano in there and a ton of fresh black pepper. The sauce had a bit of texture from the corn skins, so if you ever want to try this out, I recommend straining the sauce if you want it to be smooth. And then I added the pasta and mixed everything together. I used chickpea pasta for the first time and it broke apart really easily, but it didn't have a bad flavor or texture or anything, so I didn't really mind the shorter pieces. I added the noodles to a bowl, topped it with asparagus tips, lemon juice, purple basil, and fresh green onions from the garden.